I'm Rebecca Austin. This is Pop 17. Today we are here with Casey Baker.
Hi.
She has developed and is the CEO of the School for the Well-Spoken Woman. Casey, can you tell me what was the key that unlocked the door for your inspiration for the school?
Wow. Well, you know, I think that it goes back in a little bit of time. Somehow I found myself at one point in Israel. And there was a specific experience that I had when I was there that really changed me and I think set the foundation for creating the School for the Well-Spoken Woman, doing my work with women and really unleashing the brilliance of their voices. And what that was that early in my travels I had met a man who was Palestinian. I'd actually had an extraordinary love affair with him. And it was very short, but it impacted me in a major way. And years went on, and about 5 years after I met him, we had exchanged emails, and I told him that I was coming to Israel. And he said, "Would you please come visit my family? Would you please come visit my family in the West Bank?" And that was in 2005. It was a very dangerous time around there. And he had actually fled Palestine and was living in Sweden. And I had this feeling inside that I knew that I needed to go and visit his family. It felt great. The invitation felt amazing and I felt safe. And so I went, and I remember being picked up at the wall, if you've heard about the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's just incredible. And crossing over to the other side. And a young woman picked me up. It was his younger sister. He had 14 brothers and sisters. And she picked me up, and her name was Jihan, and she is my age. And Jihan and I formed this amazing friendship on that trip. And what ended up happening was I really got to know about her world, and it completely opened my eyes to what were some of the preconceptions I'd had about being an Arab woman in the Middle East. And I got to see that even going to this party where she was with with all of the women in her family. It was just the women. It was an engagement party, just women. It was like one of the most awesome parties I'd ever been to. You know, it had all these stories like, they're oppressed, you know, they can't even party with the men and this whole thing. And it was just fabulous. And we formed an amazing friendship. And during that trip, she shared with me that she had gotten a degree in Palestine to support people in psychology, a master's degree, and to support people in really dealing. Her focus was to really support people in the West Bank and dealing with the intensity of the anger from the situation, as she described it to me. And her desire was to go and get a PhD, to really take her service of these people to the next level, and to go to the college in the far, far north of the West Bank in order to get her PhD. She also wanted to travel, and she wanted to get out there and experience the world and really feel a sense of freedom and furthering her education so she could come back and serve her people more powerfully. But one night I was lying in bed next to her there were 3 twin beds. Her mother was in one, she was in one, and I was in the next one. And she said to me, "Casey, I want to do these things. I want to go further my education, but I can't get to the northern part of the West Bank because the roads have all been ripped up, and it would take 4 hours going back and forth each day to be able to do that, and it's not a possibility because of the situation with how poor the roads were, and the Israeli military ripped up the roads in certain sections. And I want to travel, but I can't. And I can't get out of Palestine. I feel like I'm trapped. I want to do all of these things with my life, and I feel like I am completely trapped, and that for some reason I'm being punished in this life." And when she said that to me, I had this huge awakening in that moment of seeing how profoundly privileged I am to be able to be an American woman, to be able to truly do whatever it is that I could possibly dream, that I am free in every way, and that the only thing that would ever hold me back from bringing my voice and my truth and my creativity out into the world is my mind. And that I saw in that moment that is the plight of so many women that I know and am connected with here in the States, that there is a way in which the only thing that would hold us back from being full throttle in our lives and to stepping into extraordinary leadership and unleashing all of our incredible creativity is our minds. And that there is such power, I believe, waiting for us in this world in order to create the kind of world that we all know and dream is truly possible, in supporting women in really owning and getting out there their deepest truth in the full power of their voice. And it was in that moment that I had with her that I knew what my life's work was for myself and for other women.
Wow,
and so
that's breathtaking. That's so inspirational. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm Rebecca Austin. This is Pop 17. Subscribe.